sorry about that. Massive delay. But yeah, we'll try and sort this out here and see what we have going on. Of course, now YouTube claims no data. Funny. But it's showing me the show, so it may just be lagged. Excellent condition. There we go. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that 15-minute delay. So much of a delay that I pretty much finished my cup of coffee, and so there you go. I can reduce the audio here. All right, so yeah, pretty big delay. I'll put this in the background, and then I want to listen to this just to see what it sounds like on YouTube. Let's find out. Live streams. There should be one in here. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, cool. Let me just listen. Oh, that sounds pretty good, actually. So the audio today is RA20 as per usual. And I am going to just switch around my screens briefly because I'm now duplicating my vMix stream right here in front of my camera on my teleprompter. So I want to utilize that a little bit more. And I've got my audio coming in here at a really pretty high level. And then I've been able to just totally back it off on the Euphoria. Now I'm having some issues with the Euphoria, which I think is odd. I was getting like a lot of like crackling today. Turns out that I think it was the bit rate that I was using, or that at least was coming up by default when I'd plug it in. So I'm not really too sure what the deal is there, but it has since stopped. I do want to make sure we're not getting like a doubling effect. Yeah, so that seems good. And the other reason for the delay is because I was having some major issues with how the audio was routing through vMix. And so I have kind of redone things here. Basically got rid of all of the like a default mode. Everything now is off. And I can do that because, as the title of the show suggests, somebody gifted me a full-on version of vMix as a thank you for my work that I did at Bird Dog. So evidently he's using it for like training and whatever. And so super generous, like way more generous than I had. Oh, whoops. One moment, please. Way more generous than I was expecting from anybody. Sorry, I just dumped a bunch of microphone stuff on the ground. So like this super generous gift of basically a full version of vMix. And so that was pretty exciting to get that. And I was getting like receipts, like, thanks for your purchase on PayPal. And I was like, wait. I didn't do that. And then come to find out it was one of my viewers, and that was super kind. So special shout out to them. I don't know. I didn't get permission to out him as to who gave it to me. So I'm gonna wait until I get that, or maybe he'll speak up and say something. But yeah, really cool. Thank you so much for that gift. I am using it now, and that's the real deal. So what's going on, Angus? Good morning indeed. Hopefully you're doing well out there, out west. Hopefully you're living the dream. And Chad, always a pleasure. It's no one here but us chickens. I'm assuming this is NetHab. Hey, I see that you are now back on Twitch. Yes, I did get into my Twitch account, thankfully. And I try to game on there once a week just to have some fun. And with this job, I have a little bit of time in the mornings because I have no commute to do that. And so I usually game between 8 and 10. And then I get to work on Mondays because I'm working most weekends. And so there you go. I take a little time during the week. So that's always pretty nice to have. Nice little addition to my schedule. Let me see here. Things are looking good over on YouTube. Yeah, hey, I'm doing pretty well out here. I hope you are too. I definitely am. Thank you for checking in. Always a pleasure. I've had some, like I said, vMix. The vMix update now basically gives me a lot more inputs, but I haven't done any graphics or anything like that. So I need to get like a title screen and a countdown going. I need to get my snaz program. Is that on this machine? Let's find out. Snaz is not on this program. So the little countdown program that I was using when I was over at Bird Dog was a program called Snaz, and SNAZ. And if you just look up the word Snaz timer, it is out here on GitHub. And we can find the download link. Maybe not. Anyways, the beautiful thing here is that it gives me the option to do this. And so I can talk to you in the corner of the screen and show you what it is that I'm looking at on my screen. And I love that because that's been a huge part of changing my job and going alone, you know? So pretty excited about that I have that ability. And again, special shout out to my current donor who bought me a vMix license, and now I have the luxury of doing that. Okay, so we just download Snaz from, I'm gonna put this over here, Snaz from the little GitHub, and then we can open that up and have a little look. And I can show you how I set that up. The beautiful thing about Snaz is that it outputs into text files. And so you can then import that information into Title Generator and create active countdowns. So you just set up Snaz and then off you go. So if I go to downloads, I'm gonna go to downloads, Snaz setup, and we're gonna let that run real quick. And I can share this now. So, oh, wait a minute, it just killed it. That's not what my screen looks like anymore. What's going on here? Change preview desktop capture. Strange. Let's try this. Okay, not that screen. Desktop capture. It does there we go. Does vMix struggle with its own desktop capture option? Because it just like crapped out when it asked me to give administrative permissions. It totally like crapped out. So that's a little bit weird. I think that's pretty strange. All right, inside one of my drives, I actually have a streaming folder, which is where I want to install Snaz, and I'm going to create a desktop option, but pretty much so that I can load it into the startup shell. So that's the idea. So let's go ahead. I told it to start Snaz as soon as it is done. There we go. This is a very familiar screen, very basic program, but really helpful when it comes to running this stuff in vMix. So you can change a lot of these elements, but the main one that I use is this one right here. And this is a countdown timer. You put in the date, right? And you can say like use today's date. And in this instance, we're already 30 minutes late. And then when we say start, it gives us this countdown number, and it tells us where to find the text file that we want to use for the for this countdown. So you can copy that directly to a clipboard and then paste that into vMix. Now, the other nice thing I like here is I can clear the format so that it just shows me minutes and seconds, because usually I don't launch things more than 15 minutes in advance, and today I was 15 minutes late. So yeah, that's a doozy. But we can run our little countdown now this way. I strongly suggest you not check remove timespan zeros, because when it shows 0, it removes the 0, and I think it looks weird. So instead, we're going to take this information and copy it to a clipboard, and then we're going to go into vMix and set up a new title. So I can just say add an input, and we can say new title. And I want to do, actually, you know what? I don't even need to do that. I just need to do basically a blank input. So let's do that instead. So input blank. And now I can share this screen. This is the vMix, my vMix input stuff. And here we can just edit this. Okay, so we can say, go ahead and do. What do we want to do here? We want to add a we want to add a layer. Let me think. I've used to do this so easily. And now it's like not coming to me very easily. Um, let's see. Add a list, add a DVD, add a title, video, color bars, blank, image, photos, mix output, more. So there is an actual text option in here, right? Where is it? Ah, refresh my memory. Where am I? Well, how am I forgetting this? Image sequencer. There is a spot to just like build it. Maybe I have to do this in title generator. So let me look up. Uh-oh. One of my screens just disappeared. That was my little monitor turning off for some reason. I wonder what happened there. It is off. It's no longer even on. Maybe it died. Well, that's fun. Okay, cool. So if we say cancel, we go here and we say title graphics generator. And yeah, the desktop has now frozen again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up scan converter or screen capture, but just the HX version. And I'm going to then change my desktop capture to an NDI source. And hopefully, is this no, that's screen 2. NDI capture screen 2. Yay, there it is. Okay, cool. So now you guys can see this through an NDI source. All right, so we've opened up the title designer here, and I'm just going to add text, add a layer, basically, right? And all I want to do is good luck with desktop capture view, but whenever user accounts control pop-ups, the non-admin programs, you cannot capture that view. Yeah, and then it canceled on me. So, hey, we got some music too. Music just got super loud. That's because I'm really sorry about that. Okay, let's try this. Why is desktop right like pumping out something? I know why. It's because thinking screen capture. Ah, that's garbage. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I have killed that audio now. My bad. My bad. We can hear some wild music. It's probably because it was doubling more than likely. What's going on, Frank? Good to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to the show. All right, hopefully it's all like chilled out now. With any luck. With any luck. What is going on here with this? My little screen is dead. Yeah, like it's not powering on at all. It's supposed to be 5 volts. Whoa. It's supposed to be 5 volts, but it definitely is not. What's going on with my camera now? Hello? Hey, there we go. Hey, all right, cool. Well, this is, I mean, to Frank's point, this show is generally pretty wild, so good stuff. All right, we're all good now. Okay, yeah, it's all back to normal. It added an audio channel when I added the screen capture because, of course, it, yeah, of course, it jacked things up. So, yeah, I didn't like, yeah, your camera isn't too happy either. Yeah, I know. It did not like me monkeying with the screen underneath. So that's annoying. Well, anyway, all right. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, getting the countdown stuff going. So let's go. Let's add this as an overlay. So we're gonna find title, browse, No, cancel that crap. Add input. Add title. I literally wanted to just make a title very basic. Image, photos, PowerPoint, audio, mix, create an output. Oh, garbage. No, close that. Ah, dang it. How am I forgetting this? This is like such a basic... This is such a basic function. I think it's title, and I will just delete all the elements. So let's go to... Ooh, that's cool. Ah, found it. Timers. Got it. Okay. Phew. Let's go to... I don't really want it to be red. Let's make it blue. Skewed blue? Yeah. And then here, we click on data sources, and we can say manage, and then you can put in the data source from SNAS. So we say copy from clipboard, and you can say add text file. Where is the file name? We just paste that in here and say okay, and then close, and then okay. And now this little guy shows up. Why does that say 11:31 a.m.? Yes, that's the current time, but that's not what I wanted to use it for. So we say title editor, time, clocks, time of day, countdown. Hey-oh. All right, so that's not really what I wanted to see. Format 0, rows 1, columns. Let's manage this. This is what I want right here. So you can also change this table. Data source text. Ah, eureka. Boom goes the dynamite. So something like this is pretty easy to do. It only took me 20 minutes to figure that out. But yeah, it's a generally a pretty good idea. Good golly. Well, anyway, next we'll talk about that later. So have a little countdown that we can throw over here on like overlay 4, which now shows up on my screen. So if let's go back to cam 1 vMix. Oh boy. Camera. Hey, there we go. So now if I had a little title screen, I could run this as an option for that title. I'm also just going to add an input here like my old timer. Here we go. Timer. I think it was just timer centered. Data source text. Say okay. And then I'm going to change the color because good golly, that's hard on the old eyes. So let's go with green, which is what it used to be ages ago. And then if we close this, now we can add this layer onto the, so we could set this now as number 4, and we could add this layer on to our actual show for the start screen. So that's what I used to do way back in the day. I am going to edit the font because I don't like this font. What do we got on here though? Not much. Okay, so let's... Oh, it doesn't update it live? Ah, come on, vMix. You could do that. That would be much more impressive if you could. Okay, so whatevs. It's not particularly liking the extra bold. What does extra bold look like? I don't like that. What is demi bold? Yeah, okay, that's not terrible. I wish I could put like an outline around it, but evidently there's no way of doing that. So bop-a-doo, Bob's your uncle. All right, so now that I have a timer, the next key is to build a background for the beginning of a show. And if I, everything that I do, I'm not a graphics designer. I don't have any sort of education in any of that. And so it's, it's easy. I don't have really an education. However, I don't have an education, period. However, I do make back my own backgrounds, as you saw from today's show, and so I'm able to make these up in, you guessed it, Adobe Express. That's where I camp out, and so I'd like to build like a show starting type of one, right? And you can create a lot of, oh, whoa, that was cool. Wait, go back. Okay, so yeah, inside Adobe, you can create a bunch of, like, you can say templates, or you can go back here and say new. So we're going to say new, and then we're going to say, a landscape. And now it says YouTube video, seems to know. I would like to turn off all the paid options because that's really annoying seeing all those. But if we scroll down here, we could find a fun little video or something that we could create. Let's see, this is an 8-second. Is this just a loop? Here's hoping. All right, so wow, they have done every letter. Okay, not a huge fan of that. It's not awful, but it's not great. And it's not a loop. So we keep looking here. What am I going to do? What am I going to make? It's the real question, right? Welcome to my life. That's not it. These are all paid for options, which I don't have a paid Express account. I just have, physics explained, static electricity. So what do we got here? Ew. I don't like that. Can this be made longer? It sure can. No. Come back here. All right, so, all right, so let's undo that, and we can, let's just monkey around with this. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is what we're gonna do, but we could do this, and like this. I don't really particularly care for that background show. Yeah. Kind of lame. Kind of lame. So, Garth's dorm room. I don't want to know about that. That's inappropriate. All right, so maybe I'm going too far here, and I need to just do like a YouTube thumbnail, and then I can just like import a picture of myself or whatever, and the daily life of a barista. That was kind of a boring one to look at. Some of these are pretty nice. It's just got to be a start screen, right? Like, that's all I need it to be. There's a free feature right now with cancel. There's a free feature right now in Adobe Express that allows you to like remove backgrounds. So if you just want to like have a person and have lettering behind them, which you've probably seen in my previous videos. Oh, that's cool. Let's look at something like this. Start a new file. And so I can like import a picture of myself, right? And remove the background. And then, so if I go to like your stuff, There should be some photos in here of me at one point. These are like files that I've made. Is that under elements? All right, well, I'll find it here. Anyway, so like this dude, this is just a picture, a background picture, the joy of gaming. So let's just change this. And then I'll put my name on this one. Well, the name of the channel. Whoa, a little too big. Size 300 is too big. All right. Okay, and then we'll move this one into position, centered underneath the YouTube. And then we'll figure out not a deep dive into why gaming has become a joyful escapism for everyone. That's really weird. Okay, but here we can say replace image. And so what I'll do is I'll pull up my personal Amazon photo library, and I'll look and see what I have for I'll look and see what I have of like photos of myself. But we'll see. Hey, have you ever used Canva? I have. Actually, my wife uses Canva extensively. She's a teacher, and I've heard good things. And so I might navigate down that road one of these days. I need a landscape shot. A lot of these photos I have that are just me are portrait. So I'd really like, I don't know, I don't have a great photo of myself in landscape, you know? What is this one? Oh, this one is. It's kind of creepy though. This is back from my bird dog days. So let's try this one. I'll show you in a second. Let me just pull it up. Cute pictures of my kids. There's photos of my wife and I, but I don't walk around taking pictures of myself. And so, okay, there's, oh crap, this is portrait as well. All right, let's try something. Let's replace this photo with one from my drive. So let's see, where are we here? Downloads. There's nothing in the downloads folder. How about this folder? Okay, what is going on here? Is it because they're hold on, yeah, they need to be converted to JPEGs, unfortunately, because I took them with my iPhone, and my iPhone takes them in some weirdo format. So, convert. Go ahead. Okay, done. And we're gonna do that again. Convert. Don't do it. Convert. Okay. All right. Thank you. Did it do it? Do. Maybe I ran out of... It keeps popping up like a pay for it now screen. So maybe I ran out of options to... If only... Yoink. So I'm pretty sure what this is telling me is I don't get to convert any more photos for free, which is lame. It's pretty lame, everybody. Pretty lame. All right, so now I've got to find a picture of myself. This is going to be even more difficult. Wait, is there a... I wonder if there's an edit option in, where are we at now? Hey, what's going on, little Mac? How are you? Hey, I heard you ran into Patrick last weekend. Good stuff. Hopefully you're doing well. You need a picture with an enormous shocked face to be YouTube thumbnail official. It's true. Because who isn't shocked when you're on YouTube? You won't believe who's gaming now. Man, there there are some pet peeves of mine that yeah, I get so annoyed with people that they're clickbait. They're always like, "Oh, you won't believe, what this person said." It's like, I'm not interested in doing this because it sounds like I'm going to get a virus if I click on this link. I'm super skeptical of anybody who talks that way. If it's like I have a mystery package that I'm going to unbox from my friends at Bird Dog, that I feel like is safe because I'm pretty much telling you what the plan is. But if it's like, you won't believe what this person said, or you won't believe who died last night, it's like, I'm not clicking on that because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get spam bots like crazy, or at least I feel like I will. I'm very anti, as you can tell. Okay. I'm going to download this picture to my phone and then try and export it because it's super annoying that I have to do this. But it is what it is. Bottom of the screen. Right. Oh boy, I got too many pictures in here. What? Get out of here. Oh my gosh. Why did you do that? All right, here we go. Some of these pictures are funny. Ah. Come on. Any photo would be great, by the way. Oh, you know what? I know which picture I should use. Ooh, got a good idea. Where are we here? Yes, right here. Perfect. All right, this is more what I'm up to these days anyways. And it's a JPEG. So, hey, all right. We did it. We did what we were trying to do all along. And we have a halfway decent photo. It's still portrait mode, which is annoying. But it is what it is. So we will, let's see, add a psychedelic background. So this picture, let me share this. This is me operating at the soundstage that I work at now. But like I said, it's only half a screen, so we're gonna have to do something about that. The background color could be black, and we could basically, generative fill. Let's see, describe what you'd like to see. What should I put here? An audio visual control room. Oh, whoops. Why? With how long does this need to be? Oh, so is Canva Pro worth the subscription? I just got burned hard with Digital Juice. They went out of business just after I subscribed. Oh man, that sucks. I'm good. It was great to see him again. Yeah, he made his trip up there to Kentucky. See you guys. Yeah, I used Canva Pro at a previous job. It was great. Honestly, the most amateur what? Honestly, for most amateur users, The free version is great. Yes, my wife uses that free version quite a bit. Let's see. Do we have any more like backgrounds? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And abstract and patterns, maybe something trend. Oh, I shouldn't have added. I should have added as a media element. So we're gonna upload from my device again. Here we go. And we're gonna bring this down behind the lettering. Boom. And I'm just gonna put myself in the corner. And let's see here. We're gonna, what else can we do? I think I kind of want to make this like grayscale or something. I kind of like that look. I could colorize it. Whoops. Like this. That's kind of cool. But I do want, I want the shadows to be like this blue in here. And then the highlights. Ooh, what if we make the highlights black? Whoa, that's wild. Can we invert them? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Oh, if this is going to be my... Yeah, we'll just say the show is starting like this. And we can move this. Yoink. And then I can put my little number in there as well. That's cool. Okay, I like that. Cool. All right, I like that. Okay, so Nightbot is a little out of date. Any funds will be used to upgrade vMix. I just upgraded to vMix, and so we got to change that. So let's go here, Nightbot, because I don't need that anymore. I am going to build a new machine, so that's kind of fun. I've basically decided... Oh, wrong account. Log in with YouTube, and I'm going to choose this one. Continue? Wait, I've already authorized Nightbot to do this. Commands, timers. Yeah, this one here. So... And when I buy that new machine, I will build it on this show. So that's the plan. It'll be another server rack, but that's another story. We'll talk about that. I do a fair bit of quick and dirty graphics design for clients who may have the start of an idea but have no idea. Then I might have to try it out. How is their stock video selection? Honestly, I never really dabbed in their stock video. I was doing mostly social media posts. Yeah, that I understand. I'm doing not a lot of social... I'm doing social media stuff, which we can talk about in a second. What is this? Spam. I just got spammed by some weirdo. Yeah, boy. Report junk. Okay, so... I'm doing social media stuff, but I'm doing video stuff for the group that I'm working with. And so that's been kind of nice to get into. What else should I add here to this other than my timer? Because we'll load this now into any other suggestions here. Maybe we'll duplicate this and say like, be sure to subscribe or something. Just because you have to. Like this. Because if you're on YouTube, you have to tell people the main function of all that. Okay, so we're going to title this, starting screen. Whoa. All right. Starting screen. There we go. I'm just starting to poke around, really. It looks like it might be worth a try. I mean, I can speak highly of the my experience with Adobe Express. It has I've done everything in Adobe Express pretty much. All right, so we can download that now. And then I am going to take this file and put it over in my streaming library. So if we go to copy, because I want to find it every time, right? So copy, paste, and then I will put this on just in here. I guess I don't need to really sort it. So starting screen. All right, and now we're going to jump over to vMix, and I'm going to create an actual overlay. Well, let's do this like we did before, back at the Bird Dog Studio, and I'm gonna call this. What did I call this? It had my starting and ending screen. Was it just titles, backgrounds, I think. Backgrounds. Let's go with backgrounds for now, because I am going to import. It's just going to be an image or photo, I guess. Photo. Yeah. All right, and we'll browse. Oh, can't do that. Import image. Browse starting screen. So if we load this in and say okay, boom, there is my starting screen. And then on here, I want to do layers, and I want to say, do I want to do layers? Yeah, I guess so. And I'm going to say center title, and then position. I'm going to change this to, whoops, reset that. Sorry, pan Y. And that's pretty big. So I don't quite need it that big, but I do want this. I think that looks about right. And then I'm going to go back to my overlays. I'm going to say edit in title. And I'm going to say color. Oh, shoot. I got to find out what that color is. So let's do that real quick. The fill custom. Here's the hex value. So we can just copy this. And then back to vMix. Hex value like that. I really wish that they would let me do a border, but does not seem to have that level of control when it comes to the font, which sucks. Are you guys hearing a clicking sound? Because I'm hearing a clicking sound. It's driving me crazy. And I think that is my bit rate. Can you hear that on the show? Let's find out. One moment, please. All right, you can't hear it. I 100% can hear it, and thankfully you're not listening to it. But I don't know what that is. If I pause the music, it goes away. That happened earlier. So what? Yeah, what was going on was, and this looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So it was doing that earlier when I was playing music. It was like clicking and carrying on, and I assumed that it was a bitrate issue. And so I had gone over here to my control panel for the UMC and changed the rate, which has now changed again. The problem is if I change that now, it's going to screw up everything in the show. So I don't want to do that. If I turn on my microphone, it clicks again. So yeah, something is up. My output is jacked up because whenever I am playing audio through my headset, which now I don't need these. Okay, I think I should be back. This is weird because it shouldn't have killed my microphone. It's so annoying. But basically, like, forgot. Are you hearing double again? Because now I think I'm hearing double. I will kill this and this. This is weird. Okay, no double. So yeah, you guys don't hear any clicking, but I did kill the microphone. And yeah, did you go mute? It's actually my computer that did that. My microphone, that's funny too, because my indicator on my Stream Deck did not, it said I was live. But then when I looked, obviously in vMix, which you can see here, there were no bars. Man, that's annoying. Hey, you're back. And it sounds good on this end. Good. You need a big red light for low audio levels. I agree with you. So let's do that now. Let's go over to Companion. We're going to launch that UI. And we're going to take a quick little look here and change this button feedback to, I want to turn this off. Actually, let's delete this one. And then let's delete this one as well. And we're going to change feedback now. vMix input live decibel readings. Say done. I'm not too sure why this. Because this is, what input is this? This is input 2. So we're going to change that. And we're still good. This is the wrong one, isn't it? So if we say vMix mute solo volume meters, let's do that. What options do I have there? Volume meters for imp. Oh, nice. Oh, it shows it on the button. That's kind of cool. I don't mind that. All right, I'm gonna leave that. Still not enough though. So display volume meters if the input fader is set to a value, if the input is set to solo, if it indicate what the live decibel is on the input, output. Okay, so nothing really super useful there. Indicate what the live decibel value is on an input. But it's not actually doing anything though. If it shows it on the text. That's funny. Ooh, I hate that. Color the background. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's way better. And so if I stop talking though, this needs to go red. Not right? It just needs to be the other way around. So like green is up here, a little less green, a little less green, and then like pink. Ew, that pink is gross. Um, also gross. So let's do this like dark red. What I wish it would do is flash at me. But this is helpful. At least it's showing in real time that what my volume level is. It trips a little bit. Like I could even do this or maybe the darker one so that's the same. And then when I stop talking altogether, it goes red. So in the instance where the microphone is muted, so let's go back to vMix or just stop sending. It does. It still shows activity, but I think if the bars are 0, check 1, 2. That's weird. Interesting. Okay. Well, interesting. I'll have to think about that. But at least it shows red. Like it shows green most of the other time. And matter of fact, we don't even need it to really show any other type of green other than this, right? Like all I care about is the volume. Text color is white. Yeah, all I really care about is when there's no volume, it should be red. Yeah. I don't really need these audio meters now. I just like that it changes red like that. Like, no good. Okay, cool. Okay, back to this real quick. And thankfully, it still sounds good on your end, everybody. That's still a thing. All right, this is now the duplicate. The show has ended is what this needs to say. Whoops. And I will bring that in a little closer, I guess, like this. There we go. I like that. Let's do this, though. Let's do this and this. We're going to group these together. And now I want this to be center, like this. And then I want like this. There, the same distance between the two. Boom. Okay, that's cool. I'm happy with that for now. So let's download that. Thank you very much. And we can close Chrome finally. And now we're going to go and say backgrounds. We're going to say add an input. This was under images, browse. Oh, shoot. I need to bring this over here. So, whoops. So let's do that now. Let's bring, where was that? Download. Screen is ending. We're going to cut. Go back to my streaming folder. We're going to say paste. Say open. Ending screen. Say OK. And now the end is also in here. So that's cool. Now we're in good shape there. That one does not need a timer, whereas this one does. And I like the timer just kind of goes away when the time is done. But we can easily change that in Snaz by just doing the next time, right? So if we say 13 and say start, the timer starts and off we go. So pretty cool. Pretty nice that that's that convenient. Now there's some other features in Snaz too that you can put the date. So we could copy that as another element and then dump that somewhere else here. So it shows like what today's date is. I don't necessarily need that. There's also a chrono timer, so up and down. So if you want to set like a custom timer, And then there's like, okay, so system information, for example. So if you want to show at any given time any of these elements, um, which might be helpful to show, I guess, but I don't think so. I don't have any use for that at this point. But this has some options. It's pretty cool that it gives you that ability to, and it's free. It just brings it in for free, you know. Oh, and once you kill it though, then it turns off the timer. So there's still 50 minutes left on that timer. So what are we going to do? We're going to say startup apps, and we're going to add, oh, we're not going to say startup apps. We're going to say run. And the command, of course, is shell semicolon startup. Hit OK. And here we get our startup apps. So we got NDI router, which I do not need anymore. New Tech Connect, which is how I'm bringing this camera in. And then EOS utility, also how I'm bringing the camera in. So then we're going to go to the desktop. And I've got a copy of the, I do? Ah, here we go. I've got a copy of the shortcut here. So we're going to add snaz to that shortcut and we are good to go. When the computer turns on, snaz will open. Not that I'm streaming every time I turn this computer on, but it's helpful to have it on. Now, the other option too is we can just put it down in the menu bar, which actually might be a better place for it than in the startup apps now that I think of it. So now we go to startup again. We can just remove that because I don't need it. I'm on this computer every single day, but I'm only streaming once or twice a week. So you can delete that and call that a day. So very good. Alrighty. So hopefully you're along for that ride. That made a lot of, if that made sense or not. But we're able to add things now into vMix because I have more than inputs. Thank you to a generous supporter who sent me along a little gift of a full version of vMix, which is vMix 4K at that, by the way. It wasn't even the HD version. It's vMix 4K. So good stuff. Alrighty, so yeah, we're up and running with vMix, and I'm just going to jump into the chat and make sure, yep, all good. So, all right, what else did I have? What else did I say I was going to talk about here? We can make this full screen. Let's look at the, okay, next purchase for the rig. So the machine I think I want to buy is going to run me in the end like $1,500, and we're not going to go super crazy on the gaming specs, but primarily that's what it's going to be for, because I'm going to use this machine for, oh crap, I closed that by accident. I didn't mean to do that. We're going to use this machine for vMix. And so I've got 3 screens. At this point, I'm willing to go down to 2. I would do a screen capture on one with NDI tools and then ship that across the network and just stream that into vMix. And then I have a keyboard and a mouse that can be used for 2 different machines at the same time. So that's easy peasy. And then the question is audio. I think what I would do is because it's going to primarily be a gaming machine, I would ship the audio out via NDI and bring it into vMix and then listen to the show through vMix. And so it keeps the horsepower for vMix under one CPU, GPU, and the horsepower for the game under another. And then I would just run the game on this screen, and that would give me or whichever screen, doesn't really matter, but probably this one. And then we would go from there. So that's the idea. I was over at, what's it called? PC Part Picker, trying to put some stuff together. And yes, I need to sacrifice down to 2 screens. Fair enough. Oh, hey, and the other thing, because I'm running Nightbot, what I'm going to do is open up socials and say, oh, wait a minute. It's already set this way. And this says, update the title with the most recent. Oh. Where is my overlay for, where's overlay? Hang on. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, cool. So this says update the title with the most recent, but if I push overlay 1, there's another one in there. Okay, so that's confusing. Anyways, automatically update the title with the most recent entries. Check. Oh, queued entries only. Okay, no. Okay, there. I've been using an M Audio RGB Duo, which lets me USB into 2 computers at once with various faders for game, chat, stream, and others. Interesting. Okay, so that was an auto trigger, by the way, for the chat. So because I've got Nightbot, which will clean up a lot of the chat, and I've got a subscription, we shouldn't run the risk too much of having people do terrible things inside the chat. So let's see how that goes, and that way your chat can go up there on its own. The thing I will change though is the timing, because I'm gonna need this lower third to stay up there longer than it is. And so I'm gonna say twice as long. Bam. And so now when you guys send stuff up there, I can manually kill it. I can take it off my screen, but I will hopefully be able to, hopefully socials will do it now for me. And that's one less thing for me to try and manage as stuff comes up. Hopefully I'll just try and pay attention to what's going out on the stream. Okay, so I'm over here on Parts Picker. Pick your parts, PC part picker. And I've kind of put something together. I need you guys to tell me if you see any like major red flags, because I haven't built a computer in a lot. Insert stuff here. Yes, NetHab, insert stuff here. So I haven't built a computer in a very long time. And the one that I built is this one that I'm still using. And it's a pretty good machine. I mean, it's kind of old, but it's still pretty good, and it does what I need it to do for the most part. So I don't know. I don't necessarily know. Now, Frink has maybe convinced me that I should do something like an AMD chip this time. I'm usually an Intel house, but quite frankly, for the power and the money, for the trade-off of how much power do you get for the money you're spending, seems to be pretty a pretty good trade-off with the AMD Ryzen chips, being a Ryzen 9 16 core processor running at 3.4 gigs. And so I kind of like that. I think that might work. But I don't know, and I'm willing to hear out people's personal experiences when it comes to building a machine. So let's go over this. Let me know if anything stands out to you as a problem. And I also found another microphone. This is the trusted Sennheiser 845. This microphone I have used and sung on for 15 years, maybe like 12 years. This is an original microphone. And so we could do an audio check test one day, maybe next time, between the RE20, which is what you're listening to right now, which is just sitting on my desk and is further away from my mouth. It's probably, well, let's say it's about 8 to 10 inches away. Whereas this one, you would want to be nice and close. But we could do a test. But I found this in a case, and of course I've got microphones sitting around. And I just love this sort of stuff. I love being able to try stuff out. So really cool. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. We've got AMD Ryzen 9, the 5950X 3.4 gig 16 core. It's just short of 400, which I know that's where you start. 500 gigs is pretty stingy. Who says that's my only hard drive? So I'm a believer, and this might be silly, but I'm a believer that you spread out the you try and spread out the the workload. So I usually buy 500 or to a terabyte gig drives, but multiples. And so this machine in itself has a ton of drives because the server chassis can handle like 12. And I'm getting that server chassis again, a very similar one, like almost identical. So because it can do multiples, I have my OS on one, and then I have my games on another, and like various like streaming stuff is on its own hard drive, so that it like spreads it all out. I like to run a 1 terabyte system drive and at least 2 terabytes for recording. That's fair enough. And I would do a 500 operating and then do maybe a terabyte for recording because I'm not really recording. Like I'm not doing raw recording here. I'm doing more. I'm streaming, right? And so it's more about being able to capture that content, and my recordings just go to YouTube. That's my workflow typically. But fair enough. I mean, fair enough. I do so much long form work that I couldn't handle tiny wee drives. Well, yeah, it's arguable what I'm doing here. The computer that I use to do like DaVinci stuff, which we'll talk about next week, the computer I use to use DaVinci and do my video editing and do my recording and that sort of thing is a Mac Mini, and that's over on a different computer which I remote into. But we can talk about that next week. But yes, so far AMD Ryzen 9 is where I'm starting. I'm doing a CPU cooler fan that lays on top, and in particular one that will be quiet. So it's a Noctua fan. It's $50. I thought we would start there. There is a potential to take that money and invest it in like a like a closed loop water cooled system, but not too sure about that. I just read somewhere that NVIDIA locks up to 8 streams of encoding, unlocked up to 8 streams of encoding for NVNC. So we'll get to that because I want to talk about the GPU as well. But anyways, the CPU cooler, that's where I'm at. Yeah, the vMix guys did a video about that the other day. That will be great for doing multi-coder recordings. I agree. So the motherboard is an MSI. Now, I've flip-flopped on this a little bit. I had a Rock board on this list prior, but this one is also compatible. And quite frankly, I don't need a gaming model. I don't need it to look good. I don't need it to have Wi-Fi. I don't need those things. I'm a hardline guy always. Bird Dog has ingrained that into me, and it will take a very long time to get that out of my system. But yeah, I don't need that. So that's my thought there with the motherboard is I just need something that's compatible with this chip. I've got a couple of AIO water-cooled machines that I've happily put up with years of portable service. Oh, wow. Interesting. See, the water-cooled thing just like seems like a disaster waiting to happen. What if it leaks? You know, like I have a problem with that. But I know that the ambient air-cooled stuff is not as efficient as well. So yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about that. Okay, so this MSI board is quite nice. Does everything that I want it to do, but it's not the nicest one out there. I've also changed out the oh, I didn't change out the memory. Corsair Vengeance is still on here, but yeah, I don't know. What if you upgrade to a Wi-Fi camera for your streams? What if I were to upgrade to a Wi-Fi camera? Well, my network, much like your network, it scared me to death at first. Yeah, the water cooling, me too. Especially those guys that would build their own custom water cooling. I dabbled with that. Like I entertained that thought for this machine, and then I was like nuts to that because it feels dangerous to me. It's proven to be solid. Oh, okay. Well, those are like $50 more. So if we were to go to CPU cooler, and that's the point of this, by the way, is... Oh, no, wait. So the other problem that I have is that my case, the server case, doesn't really have the luxury for 120 millimeter fans. We can do it on the ones in the front, but the fans in the front... All right, we gotta back this thing up because Uh, AIO only. Never ever an assembled cooling loop. Well, like I say, multiple years of portable service. Very cool. Interesting. I need the socials to move. Automatically update the titles with the most recent. Queued entries only. Repeat entries. Limit the characters to 280. Oh, thanks, Nightbot. Yes, any funds given in the show to Venmo will go towards the new computer build. And I'll even let you tell me what part you want it to go towards. Okay, so the chassis that I want, I need to turn caps lock off. The chassis that I want is computer build here? No. Okay, let me jump over to that list because Sligger looks like the Stream Dude stuff much better than the iStar. Interesting. Let me show you the one that I was looking at because I quite like the one that I have. Both can handle 120 millimeter AIO coolers. Okay. You're just doing 120? Like you're just doing a single? You're not doing a double? This is the chassis that I was looking at. And we had talked about this last week. But basically, it's a 4U server bay chassis. It does allow for these like 120s, but then in the back, it's got these 80s. And so I'm going to look up the ones that you just suggested because we'll go with that. I have 2 server chassis in service right now, an iStar and a Sligger. Sligger looks just like the Stream Dude stuff. Both can handle 120 IOs. I'd go out on a limb to say Stream Dudes buy their cases from Sligger. Really? Do they have them on here? Look at that. These don't look... Okay, so I'm assuming that this is an actual site. While I look it up, let me just... Sligger.com. Okay, so... whoops a daisy. Let's cut. I wanted to cut over. Okay. See us at NAB this year. Oh, there you go. All right. So we've got some 2U chassis and 3U chassis. Looks like that's more their wheelhouse. And they do look very similar. I agree. Nope. None of those are Sliggers. All right. So let's see what we have here and what the price is because it looks comparable. I like a 3U chassis. What about a 4U? Still pretty comparable. Whoa, that's a big boy. Liquid cooling support. 360s or 240s. These are some monsters, man. What did the 3U support? 360s or 240s. Okay. I mean, I really like this guy. Let's take a look. Matte white. Ooh, look at these colors. Yo, let's go. That's so awesome. Blue? Heck yes, man. I love that. She's a beaut. You can buy like sliders. That's fun. This one might need sliders, actually. You can buy the fans right on the site. Oh, this is fun. Mine is the CX3150A. It needs an SFX PSU. So go 4U if you need to stick with the ATX PSU. It is a top-notch, absolutely wonderful to work with. Okay, so 4U chassis is what you're referring to. Go big or go home. In cobalt blue, yeah, this would make sense because it looks very familiar. So 250. All fans in the front. That's a beaut. I love that idea. Heck yes. All fans in the front. Now the question is, do you do intake or out or push out with the CPU? I'm assuming out, right? You see intake on the back. Are there fan mounts for the back though? Maybe not. Oh, that's what? That's interesting. Images. Yo, that's awesome. I love that. I particularly like this one. That is amazing. That looks so good. Um, how big is this thing? I've got 30-inch racks on this thing. So I would need like something like this, 18-inch sliders. This is gonna be so silly. All right. Oh, cool. You could buy one right here if you wanted for $250. Wait, what's the difference? Why is this one 250? Oh, it's a different mount, it looks like. Intel AMD A4 with AMD mounting kit. Oh, I see. So that's not actually the liquid cooler? Oh, yes, it is. I'm so confused. Does it come with one? Hang on. With the liquid cooler. So it just says support. It doesn't liquid cooling support. Air cooling with CPU air coolers up to 153 millimeters tall. 3 front mounted 120 for silent airflow. Interesting. I pull air in from the front through the radiator out the back. As recommended by the radiator manufacturers, I also usually sit in front of it and don't want to have hot air blowing in my face. I like the Corsair AIO coolers for different CPU mounts from form factors, supported but not included. Okay, so I have to buy the mount. Couldn't I just buy it on PC Part Picker? Yo, this thing is so stinking slick. I love that. Obsidian black. That's funny. That's the first Minecraft word that my son learned. It's obsidian. He won't say his teacher's name, but he'll say the word obsidian. I mean, everything on this rack is black right now, but you know. Okay, so this one is kind of expensive now because I've added all this stuff. Don't necessarily need to add all of this because this will all come with it. Yeah, I normally go in from the front and push out the back as well, but the airflow, this office heats up, and if I build another server chassis computer, it's going to heat up. Mine's black. Having the USB-C port included is really nice. Yeah, as long as you have it hooks up with the header, right? Inside on the board. That's slick, man. I'm so glad you said something. It's shorter than my other server chassis, it looks like. Where are you mounting hard drives in this thing? Yeah, are you just doing M2s on here? Because that would explain why you would need a bigger space. How many M2 slots does my... Let's look at this motherboard again and see. Hopefully it's... All right, there's one here. And... Oh, that might be a problem. So let's go tech specs. Max memory, chipset, memory, PCI, M2 slots, 2. All right. So that might be what I need to do for hard drives then. I run all M2 drives in that machine. 1 and 2 terabytes. Where's that second one? There's one here. There's the mounting screws. Are they... They're not stacked, are they? Where's the second one? I don't see it anywhere. Are they stacked? this single image kind of sucks. Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. M2 shield. Okay, so there's one under there, and then an optional one there. Interesting. 64 gigs of RAM, 3060 AMD 3950X with a Blackmagic 8K capture card. Oh, wow. That's a doozy. It's under the plate above the PCI slot. Got it. My desktop has an Intel 4790K. My laptop, I have an AMD Ryzen 9. I want to upgrade the desktop. I'm looking going AMD Ryzen. Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at here. Is I've never used an AMD chip. I've always bought Intels, but I'm not opposed. Your Ryzen 9 is a couple steps higher than mine, right? But it looks like that's kind of where I'm maxing out on. Well, yeah, 16 threads. Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, so now that I've discovered this case, again, it's a little nerve-wracking that it has no hard drive space. Not the end of the world, just a little like, bummer. But now if we go back and we say CPU cooler, we could pick a 240 or a 360, which would be AMD AM4 360. I just want it to be black. I don't need it to really be lights or anything like that. And I want to look at the ratings. You said Corsair is something you were looking at? Okay, so does anybody use NZXT? This machine was my first AMD build in about 20 years. M2 drives are so nice. They make for a much cleaner build. Go full modular on your PSU. Who needs hard drive space when you can just use the M2 drives? Fair enough. Oh, maybe I put this guy in there. I mean, well, and then price, money, right? So, anyways, you said that you really liked Corsair. Cooler Master makes some pretty good things too. What other brand names have I used in the past? Some of these I don't know. I haven't heard of them ever. Oh, Noctua? They make something? I'll check them out. All right, let's see what we have. Mostly Corsair and Cooler Master. I really don't need RGBs. I don't care about that at all. I wish that there was a way to say, like, give me plain Jane like this, liquid. See, again, it has a... I don't need that. I really don't need that. And I'm going to buy my own fans. So I just really need the radiator. I don't even need... Maybe it's cheaper just to buy the radiator. So if we say like 360 360 millimeter radiator. Asus. Yeah, Corsair. They make good stuff, but that's for like a custom build, right? Let's see. Let's put them in here as the one that I want to see. I don't hate this, although it does have... Again, I don't want to pay for RGB. I'm not going to be looking at it. I don't want to pay for that. Is there a plain Jane 340? They're all RGB, aren't they? I guess these are just fans. Renewed. Get out of here. Guess these are just fans. Like I could just I'm going to take the fans off anyways. This is probably... the best bet, something like this, because we're going to remove those. Well, okay. Other question: is it worth? Um. Oh, and I need to be sure that I get the right AM4, right? Because does it say that? Oh, AM4 sockets. Here we go. So the other question is like, do you trust the stock fans or do you go the extra mile? Because like this machine, for example, is running right here next to my microphone. And so when I'm doing recording and stuff and she's warming up and she's playing a game, I don't really want those fans to scream, you know? Um, oh, what did you do, Angus? You had a message deleted. Uh, my computer builds are utterly utilitarian. You need a blacked out AIO. The is RGB one of those things that you aren't really paying for now, but it is included with everything like Bluetooth in your car? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That might be the case. Let me just look, Angus, and see why you got killed. Oh, you can leave that crap unplugged, is what you wrote. Okay. Yeah, that should not be in the restriction words. Sorry about that. So let's change that. Options. It's just one of those. See, there it is. All right, you're good now. Sorry about that. The more fans you have, the less they'll have to spin. Well, what I mean is, like, what I want to buy these quiet ones that I've always bought, and I find they run pretty well with my current setup. There's a lot of fans in that chassis because that chassis is extra long, and I should look at that website because it's really it's really a NAS is what it is. And this is what I'm talking about right there. That second bay. Oh man. Boom, look at all that. That is a ton of additional space, that's for sure. Can I all right, let's just play this. That's cool. Yeah. So this is the size of the chassis I currently have. It doesn't appear that it has a optional blue face, which I would love. But this then has fans. Now this one doesn't. Oh yeah, this optional. You can take this one out and add more fans, and so just increasing that airflow a bit. But this is the size of chassis I have that allows for those external hard drives. Works pretty well. It's freaking expensive though. Way more expensive than the other one, eh? So look at all these options. For you, 17 inches deep. Ooh, that might be there. That might be the option I want. Because then I could have some of my bays and... Ooh, what's this one? Let's take a look. So you've got room... What does it say? Room for 360. Why he just has... Well, anyways, that's not a terrible idea, I guess. But... Oh, yeah. Let me see. Angus, are you in purgatory right now? I'm wondering if it puts you in like a blocked. Let me look on YouTube. Just put in timeout, hide from the channel. Yeah, dump something in the chat. You're still chatting, so I'm assuming you're not blocked. But please put something in the chat and just let me know Nightbot didn't put you in some sort of timeout jail. So this is pretty cool though. And wondering, it has this option and it has some space. It even has a hard drive mount. Sorry, you were asking me something? I was just making sure that you were here. Because I didn't know if Nightbot put you in timeout. So I like this chassis, a little bit bigger, a little bit more room, and still only 3 major fans, but all good. And I can get the blue front with this one, which is cool. And I can update to the sliders later. So that's a good idea. But it's really nice. I like that a lot. This one, not that I'll ever have an optical drive ever again. Although I do have an optical drive on this machine. What do we got here? Yeah, it's pretty stinking cool, is what that is. You really can't go wrong with a Sligger. Well, they come highly recommended, evidently. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think that they look great. Okay, so something like this is what I'm thinking then. And let's just add things to a cart just to see. This is the same one, so we're gonna add that to cart. And then we got to remember we got a 250, 260 Sligger case that we need to look into. This one, right? Configure. Yeah, 250. This guy right here. However, I actually would prefer this one. So 260. Yeah, 260. Okay. So 4170A. And then we've got a radiator. And oh, I should put this one on the list, because this will really tell us, right? If we go parts picker, there it is. So we're going to add that instead and get rid of this guy. So $100 more is going to get you $120 more. Okay, so motherboard, ATX motherboard, liquid cooler for the CPU and a new CPU. Corsair Vengeance, 64 gigs. And what did somebody say something? Is your CPU AM4 or 5? I thought it was a 4. Socket type AM4. Yeah. I have a USB Blu-ray rewrite drive. I have never burned a Blu-ray with it. That's funny. I've got other things happening. It's hard for me to split my attention. Well, how dare you? How dare you not sit here and talk about a potential new computer that you will never see nor use? Okay, so 64 gigs. What are your thoughts on that? Is that enough? I think it's enough, but I could be wrong. And then, so you guys are really advocating that I up my game with the memory. It's been many years since a client has asked me for optical media. Yeah, because they don't have a device to play it on either. Although I do have DVDs and Blu-rays still that I use quite regularly. So, type. Nope, not there. I'm looking for an M2, and on that motherboard, she can, excuse me, she can handle two M2s. I just saw this. Where was this? Was this? I was probably on this. So let's go new tab, parts picker, motherboard, and the type that it can take is M2, 2242, 2260, or 2280. So we go back here now to this, and let's select those, at least 2280. Oh. There we go. 60 or 2242. What are the major differences here with that? Form factor? Just size? 8 terabytes. Done. Only $1,000. Jeez. What on earth? Okay, I don't want capacity. Let's start at a gig. Kingston, $100. Western Digital, nope. Corsair. Any brands that you go with that you feel comfortable with? I'm a Samsung guy usually. So 2 terabytes, but that's 100 and... Is there Samsung 1 gig? Okay, yeah. I've normally gone with Samsung. Oh, there we go. 1 terabyte. So that's not terrible. We could do that. And there's a lot of good reviews. So I'm all about that. 2280 is the length. I like Western Digital and Samsung. 64 gigs should do nicely. I've had good luck with those Samsung Evos. So there you go. Yeah, and I used to buy Western Digital when I was buying standard hard drives, like spinning hard drives. But yeah, I've stuck with these ones. So what I might do is get one 500 gig and one terabyte, and then have one for an operating system and one for storage. Frank says, I've also used Crucial and I wasn't upset. I've heard good things. I haven't used those, but I've heard good things. So, all right. That's funny that they put the price at the bottom so you don't know. Asus G. Okay, the graphics card. This is where I'm scratching my head. Because everybody's got opinions about this. This card, from what I can tell, RTX 4060 with 8 gigs of onboard, seems to be a happy middle road when it comes to the NVIDIA stuff. It's not ridiculous, but it's not brutal in price either. So $300, $350, I could get on board with that. As I recall, it had pretty good reviews on Amazon, okay, and has its own, cooling system and everything. So all good there. Anybody have anything to say about this? Because this really is one of those those like crux of the matter pieces that I don't know. You don't know what you're getting until you get it. But I've had lots of good reviews. It's an actual Asus board. Seems to work well. No issues so far. Highly recommend it. I'm not necessarily like gonna overclock it or anything, although it claims that it can do that, the overclock edition. So that's kind of where I'm landing. I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. But anybody having objections, speak now, or forever lose your cool. Do they have any of those Slinger cases here? Negative. Bummer. Okay, so yes. I have no strong objections. I'm thinking about buying something similar. One of my machines is on a 1660, and I could really use the upgrade. Okay, I have dueling 970s in this one, and the one that you're watching. So I'm going to leave those. I thought I would just take one of those out and put it in the new machine, but I think I'll leave those and buy a different video card and leave those older ones in the older machine. So how long do you want to go without upgrading? Good question. And NetHab says he has no objections. I don't know, Frank. Angus says that he goes for a 2 or 3 year turnaround. Oh, hey, 1 second. So when I left, Balu gave me a gift of like a bunch of snack sticks and stuff. I'm totally gonna eat these. These are amazing. Today I want to try jalapeno cheddar. So let's giddy up on that. Shout out to Balu, who is usually over on Twitch, and not on YouTube. So I haven't seen him over here, but maybe he's lurking somewhere in the background. Oh, it says easy to open. Is it implied that I should eat this whole thing? 2 sticks. Whoa, they're 110 calories each. So there's probably some sugar in here. So it says easy to open, and yet I can't open this. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have some snack sticks while we chat. Oh yeah, that smells great. Thanks, Balu. You're a good man. I run my machines hard and always keep the previous generation in service for years after they've been replaced. Go Balu. Be right back. These are excellent. On a scale of 1 to 10 in the spicy world, it's about a 0.5%. But it does have a little burn, like a remnants of jalapeno, and that I like. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So yeah, the video card, I think I'm happy with that. That'll be a massive upgrade in terms of graphics for me, and it only needs to run one screen. Power supply, I don't need 750 watts. I need about half that. So maybe I should find one that's like 500. Anybody? Any objections? Yeah, I'd say that you're good unless you want to keep this setup for the next 5+ years. Well, the machine I have is 6 years old. So I might have it for the next 5 or 6 years. I don't know. All right, let's go total wattage. 675. Let's see if we can find a good guy that a good power supply that'll work well. Frank, I haven't heard much from you guys. Are everybody okay over there? Hopefully you're doing well. I saw that ISE took off, so I'm assuming that launches are on hold until Josh gets back. I tend to overdo my power supplies. I'd rather have a little lower efficiency, but not push too hard. I use a Corsair SF450. Maybe you want to stream 4K? I don't know. But these are good, man. Really good. I'm out of coffee. I need to bring a coffee machine up here and just make coffee on the show. There's a purchase I would do. Get one of those Breville coffee machines. Make a segment on the show. When I was at Bird Dog, some of the executives weren't a big fan of the Snacks on Stream segment, and I just do it because it's fun. Now, nobody's in charge of my life. I can do as many segments as I want. We're doing all right. In a bit of a network blunder, but we're doing what we can. What's going on with the network? I can help. I used to know something about that network. What have you done to it? Oh man. All right, let's go to the ratings of these power supplies. You know what? I'm gonna leave the 750. Make sure it's on its own breaker. It's true. It's true. I'm enjoying a bit of pepperoni here too. I'm a big fan of pepperoni. These are pork and beef, Stone Ridge, jalapeno cheddar. Man, Balu is the king of finding things to try. He was always coming in with something. He was really good at it. Brayton too. What did you do to my baby? We had a factory reset last week when our internet went out. That's fun. I won't say where mine is from. It's mediocre. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Now we're having MDNS issues where we aren't seeing any NDI decoding sources on the network. Well, your MDNS is stored on an M4250. I take that back. It's on the Google network. Do you want me to just redo the... I'll talk to Josh. He said something about the network is acting up, and he might pick my brain about some stuff. We should just move it to the 4250s and call it a day. Right? Just let the 4250s govern everything. Might as well. Oh, brutal. I hope that you can get it all sorted out. Hey, make sure that you're not set to static IPs. It's good stuff. All right. We're going to stick with the 750 watt fully modular ATX. And then I've got these Noctua fans, which now I don't need these ones. I need 3 of these 120s. And so I'm going to put another one on the case. Like so. Ah, crap. Let's go back. Add. Boom. There we go. All set. So, that's the build. I mean, that's what I have. The only other question is audio. But like I said, I think that we will export the audio via NDI and then show it on vMix and listen to it on vMix. So if I want to play a game when I'm not streaming, I'll just use the audio jack on the case. Now, on the case, speaking of which, what is on the interface? Not an audio jack. So I'll just get a little extension cord that'll come off the board here and then plug into it when I want to do that. Easy. Cool. All right, so what's the damage? 1415 plus 250 for the case. Yep. That's a lot. So, yeah. Is there a way to like... I do like this about PC Part Picker. That shows you how, like what plugs into where and how much room you have otherwise in other places. So everything has a place. Adequate power. It's great. Now on this machine, I'm assuming it only has these 3 fans. Oh, shoot. And I didn't put this. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, that was one of the changes I made. So there you go. Interesting. PC Part Picker is so good. Hey, I reached out to Josh on it, but he was at ISE this week. Yes, he is. I saw a photo of him over there. These are great, Baldy. Thanks, man, if you're watching. I appreciate you. Well, it's 1 o'clock, which means that we need to get on with whatever it is we're gonna get on with today. I've got some work to do, which I'm happy to explain. Happy to explain what I do, but I will perhaps talk about that next week. I need to make like a 141574. Does Snaz give us a, what did I say? So like it's gonna be like $1,700 by the time it's done, because with the case, I'm gonna save this. With the case involved and whatever we need here, new folder, done. It's going to be that much. So we'll have to sort that out. Have a great day, Angus. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride. And yeah, it's always a blast. So take care of yourself, man. And we will see you guys in a week. One of these days, we'll do a audio comparison between the RE20 and my faithful 845 Sennheiser. I don't think I have... Oh, I have an Apex microphone, but it's downstairs. It's in my wife's recording space. So one of these days, we will do that audio comparison. I also want to talk through what it is that I'm up to these days and show you a little bit about what it is that we're creating and doing. Always fun, and hopefully that will be fun for everybody as well. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. I am going to start the tunes and listen on here. I don't hear anything on there. So let me check the phone and see how this is going. You should always check in on your stream, right? And we'll go live. Just catching up now. Oh, you want to know why? Because it's not going out the mains. That's why. That's why I probably couldn't hear anything. You have to route it out the actual audio as well. Let's wait and see. If only I had a button that did all this for me, which I do, by the way. Audio. Computer audio is on. And we'll bring it up. All right. And then, oh, this is bizarre. Oh, I need a, okay, so the microphone button needs to be copied in Companion. I think I hear it now, so. Yep, good. So audio's there, and we are good to go. A couple of minor changes. Join me next week. We're going to talk about what it is that I'm actually doing these days. That should be fun. And more stuff in vMix, so always a blast. Thanks for helping me build this computer. I feel really good about that. And now I'm just going to save my pennies and see where I can come up with that money. So let me know if you're interested in kind of covering anything else. And we will chat again next week, next Thursday, 11 o'clock. I will try and be on time this time. But hey, I have, in vMix, I now have the ability to put up these backgrounds. And so it's actually official. So hopefully that's exciting for you too. So take care of yourself, guys. Really appreciate you coming along. Thanks for the chat. Always nice to touch base with you and keep myself a little sane as I work remotely and mostly solo here over in Clarkston. So take care of yourselves. We will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.